Hey everyone, Mirage here again. Welcome back to another episode of the Saloon Podcast. Uh, on this episode, we're going to be covering that one game that everyone kind of remembers but also doesn't remember because of what it did well and what it didn't do well. It was very bizarre.
Mhm.
And, yeah. Would you like to start this off?
Yeah, so that one game, if you didn't read the title of the podcast today, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Sun and Moon, or just Generation 7 in general, because, yeah, this is kind of an oddity amongst its other brothers and sisters of diamonds, pearls, platinums, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and letters in the alphabet.
Yep. Minerals, colors.
And in actual letters of the alphabet. I think that's a pretty good way to compare everything.
Yeah. Oh,
But
but yeah.
Sun and Moon, they're weird. They're just straight up weird.
So weird, in fact, that I vaguely remember anything about Sun and Moon.
Despite them being one of the more recent games, it isn't the current generation, but like it isn't really even that old. So
It's not that old at all, but it's one of the more bizarre and forgettable games, I suppose, because of what it really didn't try doing.
yeah, it had a lot of things that it could flesh out, but you didn't really do a whole lot with them. But we're getting a little
Yeah.
ahead of ourselves here. Let's just go ahead and take things one step at a time before we really get into the nitty gritty of things. So,
Mm-hmm.
what did Sun and Moon do that makes it stand out amongst its kin? Well, it much like Black and White, and it has a very, you know, decent story. It actually involves a lot of family relations with the trio of the family of Lily, Gladion, and Lusamine. Lily was just a shy little lady who was scared of Pokemon, but later learns to like, oh hey, Pokemon is actually kind of cool, and she goes through like a character arc and stuff like that. Gladion is a boy who had a little too much edge for breakfast and tries to stop his mom from doing a bunch of really weird experiments. And
He
the
ate a
mom
bowl of nails for breakfast.
without milk.
Indeed.
SpongeBob references aside, Lusamine is the crazy conservative lady who wanted a jellyfish. You cannot tell me that is not her character arc. She wants an Ultra Beast, and the Ultra Beast she gets is a jellyfish.
Yep. Oh, I yeah, I actually forgot about that.
In a weird sort of way, the whole SpongeBob aspect really just comes into this game a lot.
Next thing you know, we're gonna be getting like samples from what's the name of the Ultra Beast? Forgot the name of it. But we're gonna be getting jellyfish samples from that jellyfish Ultra Beast. Awesome. We're gonna be we're gonna be eating jellyfish jelly. Anyways,
Hey, all you people. Okay, no. um. So yeah, that's just sort of the whole dynamic. Oh yeah, and Hal exists. He's a lot better in Ultra Sun and Moon, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, there is a lot of really good character in Sun and Moon. Like Kukui is the best Pokemon professor because he's just freaking cool, man. Like he's he's got a
he
lot
also
of
has the hots for your mother for some reason. I think, which is really weird.
yeah. It really
I
is
think I
weird.
remember that.
Hmm. And
Out of all the things that I remembered, I don't know why it was specifically that, but again, my memory is complete trash. Aside from like specific details in the game that aren't even relevant to the story.
yeah,
Anyways, carry on.
right. And yeah, there's a lot of character, but at the same time, there's also a lack of character. It's really weird. How doesn't really get a lot of motivation aside from just like, oh hey, I'm generic rival dude, and I don't get better until the sister games. Oh, you
I'm
guys,
generic rival number 50,000.
he doesn't
Oh
really
my.
go through a character arc much like Hop does in Sword and Shield, but next time. But yeah, and I don't know, like I kind of like how, but I can very much see that he is a flawed character. In terms of the generic rivals, I would much rather take him over Blue. So, but yeah, but it's really just a weird sort of thing here. Also, the Rotom Dex.
Oh yeah, the Rotom Dex is a thing. The Rotom Dex was also bizarre. I don't know
Yeah,
why you couldn't just get a normal traditional Pokedex, but whatever, I'm not complaining.
I don't know why Pokemon is so obsessed with Rotom these days.
Me neither. Although, wasn't that just a one-time thing in Sun and Moon, or did that happen later on
It happened.
again?
It happened in Sword and Shield, like a lot.
Uh, Interesting.
So Rotom Dex was a bit of a thing that was existed, and in the anime, I did not remember liking him all that much. So
Meh.
the show isn't really focused on the anime, but it's just something I felt like bringing up. But we're getting a little off track here. So in
Mm-hmm.
terms of what things that were fleshed out and weren't very fleshed out, in terms of stuff that could have been improved on, Z moves. Those were the big traditional game wide gimmick. Sure, Megas were back, but like, were they though?
Hmm.
I really wish
Yeah.
that Megas played a bigger part in the story because you get it in the post game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you don't really see, like, you don't really do anything with Mega Stones. In fact, if anything, Mega Evolutions and Mega Stones kind of take a backseat to Z moves, which I believe has been stated previously by Burner.
Yeah, and Z moves are the big new shiny gimmick. One time use powerful attacks that cannot be used again unless you're playing Ultra Sun and Moon, where Rotom Dex is literally overpowered and makes the game way too easy.
Which is, honestly, I'd say, you know, a discount mega, yeah, discount megas.
And I honestly, sure, every Pokemon can use it, but there is also that exclusivity thing with exclusive Z moves. Like if you give a peak, if you give Pikaneum Z to a Pikachu with Thunderbolt, it can use a special attack. And I know Mew, Lycanroc Duskform in Ultra Sun and Moon, and I think Marshadow has one. Yeah, Marshadow has one too. And yeah, just yeah,
I keep forgetting the fact that there are, like, Z crystals that are entirely dedicated to certain Pokemon. Thanks for bringing that up.
yeah. A lot of people end up forgetting about him because in competitive they just mostly just use regular old Z crystals. So go follow False Life Gaming. This is a promotion by me. So,
Yeah,
but
but
yeah. Sorry.
no, no, go on.
Um, if whilst we're on the subject of things that were weird but did eventually get fleshed out in the next game, regional variants were introduced in this game, and all of them are Kanto Pokemon.
No big surprise because Game Freak has a bias towards Kanto Pokemon because they seem to think that Kanto Pokemon are the best.
To be fair though, some of the Pokemon that they did choose were actually really good, and I really like their Alolan forms. Obviously, the standout for me is Alolan Ninetales. I just think it looks really pretty, and I've always been a big fan of fairy types.
I'd say
And
Alolan Marowak.
yeah, Alolan Marowak is a really good one too. So, because like you get
Yeah,
there are good ones amongst the bunch, and there are some awesome Gen 1 Pokemon that did get regional variants, whether it be in this game or in Sword and Shield. We'll discuss Ultra Sun and Moon shortly and why that was kind of a letdown. But yeah, I really like the idea of regional variants. Aside from the fact that Meowth got one in this game and then got another one in the next game.
yeah, it was kind of bizarre.
But hey, at least Alolan Persian existed for a time.
Yeah,
That was cool, I guess. The dark types and stuff. And also they made Raticate fat.
yeah, they gave him a bunch of, just like a bunch of chub, I guess. I don't know,
They
to
gave
meet
him a
his
lot of garlic
face.
bread.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know why, but
If you get that
whatever.
reference, you're awesome. um,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, I like the idea. I just wish they felt fleshed out about it more. They did eventually do it, but we'll get to it.
Mm,
Another new thing that is kind of a weird oddity that they just sort of went back and changed the formula again for really no discernible reason. There aren't any gyms. This is the only Pokemon game that officially endorsed by Game Freak that doesn't have any kind of gym battles whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem with yeah, they instead of gyms we had what did we have? Totem something?
We had Trials and Totem Pokemon.
Right, yeah, Trials and Totem Pokemon, which were essentially diet gyms, for lack of a better term.
Yeah,
They were not that great. But they weren't awful either. I'm sure if they actually spent more time on the concept and, you know, fleshed it out a bit more, uh, perhaps it would have been a bit better. But I don't feel like they spent enough time for it to really do the game justice, which is very very unfortunate. But whatever. It's Game Freak. They seem to put less effort into things nowadays for seemingly whatever reason. But again, it's not like it matters.
yeah. And honestly, I like Trials as a concept, but I feel like it wasn't. And I agree with Mirage when we say that it wasn't very fleshed out. You know, it was just doing a bunch of menial tasks. Some of them were cool, like the ghost trial and the fire trial, and you had to battle a bunch of awesome Alolan Marowaks and like fight a Totem Salazzle. That was a pretty fun time. And photo bombing stuff. That was a decent time. And the
Yeah,
creepy lore, the ghost one, was the Totem Mimikyu. Despite Totem Mimikyu being a very obnoxious opponent, um, yeah, I like the trials of the concept. Only a few of them were very standout for me that I remember off the top of my head, and it's kind of unfortunate because this was the region that this was the game that really wanted to change things up and do something new. But honestly, what it did change was very minuscule, and what it didn't change is honestly kind of questionable.
yep. And that honestly kind of sucks. But once again, Game Freak. So it's whatever.
And speaking of things that really should have been changed, why don't we switch gears and talk about Ultra Sun and Moon proper now?
Oh yeah, Ultra Sun and Moon. Forgot about that. They have a sequel to Sun and Moon.
Well, a sequel, but not really. So,
Kinda. It's like black and white, sort of. But that's all I knew about it because of the fact that I never actually played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, despite the fact that I own Ultra Sun now. But that's about the extent of what I know of Ultra Sun and Moon.
I'll mostly be taking over here then. And
Pretty much.
honestly, Ultra Sun and Moon are just I never finished those games. I have to be completely transparent with you guys. I never did. Honestly, since it released so close to the original Sun and Moon, because it was quite literally just a filler for Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee whenever those games came out. Yeah, I wasn't particularly interested in finishing those games. Despite, me liking Pokemon, I never went back to it. And
Question is though, is the story any different from the original Sun and Moon?
sort of, but not really. And all the changes are made for the worse. So,
Oh,
if you want a really good in-depth explanation of what exactly was changed in Ultra Sun and Moon, I would recommend watching Blaster Mass by Fawful's Minion if you want a more in-depth look. But we're just going to be going over some of the highlights that I learned. Again, another
yeah.
plug. But yeah, I feel like it really subtracts from the dynamic. Lucamine was crazy conservative Pokemon lady who every wanted every Pokemon to be a part of her family. Now her motivation is she wants to protect Alola from the Ultra Beast.
Oh, that's what changes.
Yeah, kind of a
That's not
bummer.
it's not that big of a difference. In fact, I think Black and White 2 had a bigger difference than that. Like there was a larger change, but
Well, actually, it was very different considering that the motivation was like she wanted every Pokemon to be her friend. Lucamine is crazy conservative Pokemon lady. She's the leader of the Ether Foundation, and she just now wants to protect Alola from the Ultra Beast.
yeah, that's about as subtle as say something like changes from Diamond and Pearl to Platinum. That's pretty low effort if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. And like it completely ruins the point of Gladion and Lily's characters. And speaking of Lily, the struggle that by the way, we're going to be getting into spoilers here, so just thought I'd go ahead and let you know. But yeah, the conflict between Lily and her mother is settled off screen.
What? Oh, awesome! I can't believe the story regresses in Ultra Sun and Moon. That's awesome.
And considering that it wasn't too long after we experienced the actual good story of the original Sun and Moon,
Hmm.
no, just no.
That is a downgrade. That is a huge downgrade.
Though, I will give some points to Ultra Sun and Moon. I like the new Pokemon that they introduced. Naganadel is pretty awesome, and
Oh, Naganadel,
Stakataka and Blacephalon.
Stakataka, yeah, Stakataka, Naganadel. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty neat.
And
Um,
um, and it's like, it,
oh, and Ultra Necrozma. There's that one too.
yes,
Ultra Necrozma is sick.
the so famed Nuzlocke killer, which
Is it really a Nuzlocke killer?
I've
Is it
heard
that
I've
bad?
heard horror stories about that thing.
Oh no, that's not good.
But it's like a nice challenge considering that legitimately the game is actually easier. I
Then
don't,
even the original Sun and Moon?
when it's like the first hour of the game is tutorials, it's somehow even worse in Ultra.
Oh, it drags on even longer.
Like it holds your hand. Are you baby? I sure hope you're baby because that's what Ultra Sun and
Oh,
Moon thinks you are.
oh my god, please no. I hate that.
It's a
Like,
it's a it's a really long struggle in order to get
oh,
anywhere in this
that's
game.
painfully bad. Like, it, like, okay, I get the whole point behind that. The fact that they're trying to cater towards a younger audience, cater towards a younger audience, but like, that is not. That doesn't change the fact that it's like really long and boring. That's
And
terrible.
yeah, but I will give favors to Ultra Sun and Moon. It is the best way to get shiny Pokemon if you don't have Sword and Shield and a Grand Tundra. The Ultra
Especially
Wormholes,
legendaries.
yeah, the shiny locks on a lot of stuff have been removed, and it's pretty awesome. If you want to go shiny hunting and you want to transfer them over to the new games, that's pretty much the best place to do it. And it's pretty much the only way you can experience national dex format in competitive right now, unless you play Showdown, maybe want the Gen 8 Pokemon. But we'll we'll get to that whole mess next time. So that's
Mhm.
sure to be fun. And there are legitimate advantages to playing Ultra Sun and Moon, but uh, compared to the original, I would honestly say that the original is better.
Yeah, it sounds like Ultra Sun and Moon doesn't have that much to offer over its
This ain't no
original
Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum situation, or a
Yeah, it's like it tries to be the definitive set of games, but like actually I don't even know what they were trying to do with Ultra Sun and Moon. I can't. It's hard to tell whether or not it's a sequel or a definitive version. I don't know what it's trying to be now.
have no idea myself. It
Because, like, we got a clear idea as to what Platinum was, and we also got a clear idea as to what Black and White 2 was. Black and White 2 was a direct sequel to Black and White, and Platinum was, well, the definitive version of Diamond and Pearl. But Ultra Sun and Moon is in a weird, unknown gray area where you can't seem to tell what it is. It's just kind of a thing that exists, and
there
that's it.
there are games you can play, and that's pretty much all there is to know about them. Again,
Yeah,
they're not bad games by any stretch of the imagination. I would much rather play Ultra Sun and Moon over Red and Blue, but oh boy, that's gonna be a fun thing we do. But honestly, um, like I would just recommend just playing the original Sun and Moon if you just want the definitive experience with a good story. Yeah, Sun and Moon. That's the best way to do it.
honestly, after hearing that, I agree. Play the original. Don't play Ultra Sun and Moon. It's not worth it unless you're trying to get shiny legendaries, and even then, I'd still probably play the original over Ultra Sun and Moon. But like I said, the only thing it really has going for it is the legendaries, and if you want to get shiny legendaries, do that. And it's probably a better way of doing it than trying to soft reset repeatedly in games like Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Platinum for Pokemon like Giratina and Ho-Oh and stuff, and spending hours upon hours, if not days, of doing that. But then again, I could argue that you would be doing that just about as much in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I'm pretty sure chances have been the chances of you getting a shiny have been increased. So, but then again, I've also heard that people have just as hard of a time in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon finding shiny legendaries as they would in games prior to it. So it's really debatable.
And again, there's also the thing about having national dex format if you play competitive. But that's it.
Yeah, that's really all it has going for it. That's actually one of the only reasons why I got Ultra Sun. That's it. That's the only reason why I have it, not because of the fact that I thought it had a better story or anything. I just literally got it only because of the fact that I wanted more shiny Pokemon that I didn't have. But that means I have to play the game all over again. Isn't that awesome?
And it's
That'll be
somehow
fun.
even worse than it was before. But we've spent a long time bashing Ultra Sun and Moon, and we've sort of outgrown our limit, haven't we? but
I think I think the fact that we complained about Ultra Sun and Moon is sort of overstayed its welcome a bit. Um, Anyways, if anyone has enjoyed this episode of the Saloon Podcast, please stay tuned for more. Uh, if not, very soon, like incredibly soon. In fact, the next episode might release alongside this one because we wanted to make up for the long delay. So stay tuned for that, or something, or not, or you don't have to stay tuned at all. But anyways, yeah, that's it. See ya.
bye bye.